What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TheSlamDuncan YouTube channel. The Bulls got a humongous win against the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. We saw Zach LaVine have an incredible performance along with Coby White, and the Chicago Bulls had a historic shooting performance tonight that led to this 129-116 Pelicans win. So I'm going to kind of break some things down, talk about the Lonzo Ball rumors to the Bulls again, and talk about where Coby White's future is and how Lonzo would affect the Bulls' future if he does come to the Bulls. But before we get into that, though, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this. So, as you can see, the Bulls won today, and it was a good win. It was a much-needed win. But main thing is that it was an incredible shooting performance, a historic shooting performance for the Bulls, 25 threes on the night. The New Orleans Pelicans did not play perimeter defense all night, and the Bulls took advantage. So there you go with the 53% from the three-point line on 25 threes and 59% overall from the field. Bulls also had 36 assists, so it's good to see that. And, you know, you can have 16 turnovers if you have 36 assists, in my opinion. That's good to see. So good job there overall for the Bulls. And just quickly look at the box score, just quickly. Zach LaVine had 46 points tonight, if you did not know, on 17-25 shooting, 9-14 from three-point range. Incredible efficiency and incredible performance by Zach. I thought in the first half, Zach did exactly what all the Bulls fans have been yelling him to do, is that just get off to a good start, get this team going. He did just that by putting up 20 in the first quarter. And he was 5 of 5 from three-point range at that time. And I thought, though, what really showed was, like, if there was ever a game that has shown that Zach LaVine needs other people to step up, it was this game, because he ended the first half with 27 points, and he was down 8. The team was down 8, and it was because when Zach came out of that game, in those 4 minutes in the second quarter where he was out, the team kind of went downhill for a little bit. And also, no Thaddeus Young was in the game, no Sato was in the game, and the team just kind of went downhill. And the Pelicans came back, as you saw in the box score here, that the Pelicans put up a 40-piece in the second quarter to the Bulls 22. But I think throughout the entire second half, the Bulls defense stepped up very, very well. They did a great job at Brandon Ingram tonight, if you did not know. He only shot 6 of 19. I know Zion had 29 points, but I think Patrick Williams did a fantastic job on Zion Williamson, because Patrick Williams clearly read the scouting report and was making Zion work for these buckets. And I know it's all inside buckets for Zion, but he made Zion look very uncomfortable in some moments. That was great to see. So good stuff from Patrick Williams overall. And then Coby White and Zach LaVine made history tonight by being the first two teammates to ever have 8 threes apiece as teammates in the same game. So it's kind of crazy that Steph and Klay never did that before. They're probably going to do it at some point once Klay comes back. But incredible shooting performance by the entire Bulls team, but especially these two guys, our backcourt. And I'm going to go through the Zach LaVine stuff first, and then I'm going to want to talk about Lonzo Ball and his fit with the Bulls. Because for some odd reason, I guess a lot of you are just like, hey, we love Lonzo Ball. We want Lonzo Ball in the Bulls. He's going to be our point guard for the future. And I have to really disagree with you on the point guard talk. But basically, I just want to show a couple things. First is just look at these types of shots Zach was making tonight. Just step back three over Lonzo Ball, bang. This was all night. And even with that, it's like, oh, Lonzo's in his face. That's still poor defense, especially for a guy in the corner. Right here, again, poor defense by the Pelicans. Zach takes advantage, catch and shoot, bang. This was all night. And I mean literally just all night. So here we go again. Now Zach's going to be like, all right, you hesitated, hand late, bang, in your face again. This was just all night, and it was incredible to see by Zach. Here we go, another wide open three. It's just the first quarter, he was absolutely on fire and could not miss. But there is one play I do really want to show. And after this long pull-up three, which was, again, poor defense by the Pelicans. But there's this play I want to show, and then he did this at the end of the game as well. What I'm about to show, and it's this play right here. Like, if you do not know that Zach LaVine is absolute incredible to score right now, you're living under a rock. Because this is the type of stuff Zach LaVine can do, and the opponents can just tip their hat and just be like, all right, we did our best, but he still put up put up a bucket on us, even in our best defense. And this, you could argue this is good defense or not. I personally don't really think it is because I would double Zach at this point. But Pelicans is like, all right, one-on-one. Zach's like, all right, you're too small, Kira Lewis. Sorry, but you're a rookie. You're too small. Get off of me. And little pullback, bang, 18-footer goes down. That's the type of stuff that I love to see from Zach, is that he's just like, all right, everyone get out of my way. This is my shot right now. You're too small. You can't guard me. I'm just going to pull up in your face and 2 points. That was all night, and it is time to officially say that Zach LaVine is 100% an all-star this year. No doubt about it in my mind. If he's not, I don't think he's going to be voted in because I think, number one, I think Jaylen Brown should be a starter by the fans, but he's probably not going to get it. So James Harden and Bradley Beal are probably going to get the starting spots. But if the coaches don't vote him in, then there's a serious issue because this man deserves to be in the all-star game. Now, that was my quick little, incredible Zach LaVine moments for him. But the rest of the team, I think, did pretty well. As Denzel Valentine stepped up really good in the second half. Garrett Temple finally found his 3-point shot. I thought Thaddeus Young didn't play too well today, but that's okay. But Sato, 8 assists. Those 8 assists were huge. He really kept the offense going all night. So overall, really good stuff. Now, I want to get to this. So, if you know me by now, I am not the biggest Lonzo Ball fan. I love what he's doing this year. I think he struggled early this year, but I love what he's still doing for this Pelicans team. I like his fit for this Pelicans team. Now, ever since Bleacher Report sent out that Lonzo Ball is the, main target for the Bulls, or like the Bulls, they're looking at Lonzo Ball and all this and that. And, this has made me, kind of keep track of what Lonzo's doing. I'm watching his gameplay a lot, and a lot of Bulls fans have continuously been saying, once the Bulls get Lonzo Ball, he's the true point guard this team needs, and this team's going to take off once Lonzo comes to the Bulls. First off, no, they're not going to take off even if he does come. This team is still not a playoff team if they get Lonzo Ball. Just saying, just so you know that Lonzo Ball does not make this a playoff team. He is not going to generate a bunch of wins this season, all right? Now, here's the thing. I also don't think Lonzo Ball is a point guard. I think, if anything, we saw tonight, especially for all you Bulls fans, you should have seen tonight that this man is basically a shooting guard. If he was a point guard, Eric Bledsoe wouldn't be in the game, or starting next to him. If he was a point guard, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson would not be bringing the ball up the court so many times, or starting the offense, or initiating the offense. If he was a point guard, he wouldn't be taking 10 threes out of his 13 shots tonight, right? And one of the things that I saw a lot tonight was, oh, look, Kobe's a 2-guard. And I agree. I think Coby White is more of an off-guard. I really don't think Coby White's a point guard, all right? I like the fact that they're trying to put him at point guard to see if he can become the camel guard or like the guard like a Damian Lillard type guy, which I'm not saying Coby White's going to be Damian Lillard, but, Damian Lillard's not really a point guard, right? He's a scoring guard that plays point guard position. So why not try that with Coby White? See if he can do something like that. And what everyone keeps pointing out to me, or at least to a bunch of other people, is like, this game showed that Coby White was a shooting guard. And I agree. I think Coby White is more of a shooting guard. And everyone kept pointing to the fact that most of his shot attempts came from 3-point range. He shot 17 threes tonight out of his 20 shots, right? And so their argument is that because Coby shoots so many threes and most of his shots are from 3, it shows that he's a shooting guard. Well, if you're using that logic, that Kobe's a shooting guard because he shoots most of his shots from 3-point range, what does that tell you about this man right here? He shot 10 of his shots from 3 tonight, and he only shot 13 times. 10 of 13 shots were from 3 tonight, a.k.a. most of his shots were from 3-point range tonight. If you want to see the shooting charts, this is Coby White, this is Lonzo Ball. They look pretty similar, don't they? And this one's being called a shooting guard, and this one's being called a point guard by most Bulls fans. And that's what I just don't understand. So, look, I'm not saying that I don't like the idea of Lonzo Ball on this team. What I want to say is this. I'm fine with the idea of Lonzo Ball on this team. I'm fine if you want him on this team. I'm fine if you like him. But don't tell me that this man is going to be the point guard that's the true point guard that is going to help this Bulls team that this team so desperately needs, right? This team needs a point guard, right? An actual point guard. And I don't think Lonzo Ball is that guy. And I'm going to show you a couple things. Why? Remember, everyone's saying that Kobe's a shooting guard, right? And it's a bunch of catch and shoot. A lot of Kobe's threes tonight came off the catch and shoot. It was a swing around the perimeter, and then he caught it at the end, and he shot it. It was a catch and shoot situation. So, like, for example, this. Catch and shoot. He shot it. Bang. You want to see another one? The catch and shoot situation. That was a pass from Garrett Temple. Bang. All right. So, yeah. I think Kobe's really much, like, he's a better player as an off guard. And that's the reason why we've seen Zach LaVine basically take the point guard for a good amount of possessions already this season. But if you're saying that's shooting guard, like, then what's this? This is, oh, yeah, a pass from Eric Bledsoe to Lonzo Ball for a catch and shoot 3-point shot. Oh, and then a Brandon Ingram drive, and he collapsed the defense. It wasn't Lonzo Ball. It was Brandon Ingram who collapsed the defense, and Lonzo comes up and catches and shoots the ball as well from 3-point range. Doesn't that also scream shooting guard to you as well? Not only that, like, I'm showing you this just to prove my point that I think Lonzo is a better player as an off guard if he doesn't have the ball in his hands, and he's much more of a threat to score if he's catching and shooting. That doesn't scream point guard to me. That screams shooting guard to me, right? And the last thing I want to try to say is, look, if you really think that Lonzo Ball is going to come in and be the point guard that this team desperately needs, then you need to start thinking of someone else right now. Because I don't know what you're seeing here. Because there are multiple times tonight, and I watch every single Bulls game. I watch it thoroughly. I even watched this game again after the game ended. Lonzo Ball had multiple chances tonight to drive, and he drove once pretty effectively and passed it to Hernan Gomez, but there were multiple times tonight that he drove and could not do much with the ball. And one of his weaknesses in Lonzo's game right now is that he cannot shoot off the dribble. Charles Barkley came out and said this like early in Lonzo's career, and as much as I think Charles Barkley's kind of crazy, he was right about this one thing, right? With Lonzo Ball's shot, especially, and I know he's fixed it a lot. He has really, really fixed it. But even though that he's fixed it, just look at how he shoots. He has a tough time shooting the ball off the dribble, and he can't shoot the ball if he's dribbling with his right hand, stopping on a dime, and then shooting. It's very hard for him to do that because his shot is so much from his left side. So if he stops on a dime with his right hand, he has to pull the ball from his right side and swing it to his left and then shoot it. That takes a lot of time, and guys in this league are going to be really quick to pick up on that, right? Not only that, though, Lonzo doesn't really run the pick and roll that much. You have Steven Adams and Zion Williamson, two guys that could set screens very effectively for you to run the pick and roll, and I think with Lonzo, he just doesn't do that very much. I saw him, he ran the pick and roll tonight with Zion Williamson. It was a great pass to him, but it's not like he's creating these shots, right? For me, as a point, like for a point guard, like in my books, right? I understand that in today's NBA game that there is like no real point guard except for like Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul is like the absolute true point guard in this league right now. However, what I do think is necessary for a point guard is you have to be able to shoot off the dribble or create shots off the dribble, right? You can't just be a catch and shoot guy. As much as you're probably screaming to me like, well, Steph, is a catch and shoot guy. Like, Steph Curry can do everything. That's what makes him so great, is that he can shoot off the dribble. He can do all these different things. And not only that, but he can also become the shooting guard and run off a bunch of screens or just be the guy standing in the corner waiting for a catch and shoot opportunity. With Lonzo, I think he's strictly just a catch and shoot guy. And that's where I'm saying I don't think it puts him in the best position to succeed if you force him into a point guard role and tell him to create shots for the team. If you look at the Pelicans, it's Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson creating those shots for the team. It's not Lonzo Ball. Lonzo is now a floor spacer. He has gotten to the point with his shooting that he can just be a catch and shoot guy, but space the floor enough so the defense has to actually honor him, right? How many times have you seen Lonzo actually shoot a floater? How many times have you actually seen him drive right into the lane off the pick and roll and then force it out to one of his teammates it's because of his penetration that he created that shot for his teammate, right? I think Lonzo's a pretty good passer, but I don't think he's the point guard that this team needs. He can't create shots off the dribble very effectively. Now, it does bring up an interesting idea, though. We've seen recently that Zach LaVine has been running the point for the Bulls a lot. He's been the main ball handler. So, the idea of having Zach, be the main ball handler and then have Lonzo kind of be like the off-ball guy, it sounds kind of enticing, but again, it's not the point guard that we all need, right? I think Zach's done pretty well, but he's clearly not a point guard, and we all know that. Zach, I think he's done a great job improving his passing, understanding where guys are, where he can set up his teammates, but he doesn't have the mindset of a point guard. So I don't think that's going to really work out really well if you have Lonzo there and then you have Zach there as well being the main ball handler, and then Lonzo is only going to get into the action if he's just catching and shooting. That just doesn't sound like a good idea to me. So, look, I like the idea of Lonzo being on the Bulls, and to be honest, even having him try out small forward isn't that bad of an idea for me because he's 6'7". He can guard multiple positions on the perimeter. And Patrick Williams can clearly play the 4. We saw that tonight. So if you're thinking of him becoming like a wing for the Bulls, I'm all for it. But if you're thinking that he's going to be the point guard that this team needs, I think you're going to be absolutely wrong, and you're going to be extremely disappointed. So that's my thoughts on Lonzo Ball. I think, he showed out pretty well in the first half. He only scored 2 points in the second half, which kind of shows his limit. Like, he can only shoot and actually score if his teammates are setting him up. He has a very poor time of trying to create off the dribble or get himself going, which is, I think, required for a point guard in this day and age. I think, though, what most Bulls fans don't understand is I personally think Lonzo Ball is a better player than Coby White right now. I think he's drastically a better player. But, obviously he should be because he's, a fourth-year player and Kobe's, second-year player. But I think this is it for Lonzo Ball in terms of his offensive game. And to be honest, for him as a player, he's a great defender in my opinion. But I don't think he's going to get that much better offensively, especially with the way he shoots. It's very much just him catching and shooting. That's the only way he can be effective unless it's a wide open lane. And even then, I've seen him scared to go into the lane because he's a poor free throw shooter. So unless something dramatically changes with Lonzo Ball, I see him as a wing player or a shooting guard for the rest of his future. And, his stats that he's putting up right now, this is probably it for him. He's probably not going to get that much better. With Coby White, though, we saw it tonight that not only can Coby be a shooting guard that shoots a bunch of threes, else to catch and shoot, but we've seen it that he can drive to the lane and penetrate the defense and also be able to shoot off the dribble. He has a very good mid-range shot, which Lonzo Ball does not have that. And I think Coby has a much higher offensive potential than Lonzo Ball. So if you're really thinking like Lonzo's going to be the point guard, I would actually argue that Kobe's probably a better point guard right now than Lonzo. So do you really want to put Lonzo in a position where he's probably not going to be the best person there and he's probably not going to succeed? I don't know. So, but I'm not I'm not Carnage Chauvis. I'm not the VP right now. So it's just my thoughts being thrown out to you guys. I think Lonzo is a pretty good passer, but I don't see him creating shots like in a half-court set like point guards usually do. I think Lonzo actually kind of struggles with his ball handling a little bit, and people think he doesn't really, but he doesn't really handle the ball that much right now. If you look at the game, it's always Bledsoe, it's always Ingram, it's always Zion. Those guys are handling the ball. Lonzo doesn't really handle the ball that much. So, just my thoughts. I know already people are going to completely disagree with me, and it's just because so many people have fallen in love with this man. I swear, at least 75% of Bulls Nation is in love with Lonzo Ball right now. And I get it. I understand, because you think that this team needs defense. And I agree. I think Lonzo will be a great person for this team on defense. And if he could come in and be the small forward, I'm all for it, man. I would love Lonzo Ball as a small forward. But not the point guard. I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to be the right person for the point guard position. I understand with people if they try to argue like, hey, LaVine handles the ball so much, so wouldn't Lonzo just kind of be the shooting guard? But here's my argument to this. We saw with Chris Paul last year when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer for the Thunder, and Shai's a combo guardish, but he's definitely more of a shooting guard, right? But we saw that Chris Paul could still be effective as a true point guard, right? So in my opinion, for this team to move forward, you need a true point guard. And maybe Coby develops into a guy that can be that shot creator, right? But if Coby doesn't develop into that guy, I'm not putting Lonzo Ball as that guy. I want somebody else, and, Carnage Chauvis is pretty good at finding those guys, right? So I just personally think that Lonzo playing the point guard just does not sound like the best idea, in my opinion. But go ahead and leave in the comment section down below your thoughts on Lonzo Ball potentially being traded to the Bulls. I talked about in my last video that I have a Larry Marketing video coming out soon, and that is coming out soon. just saying, if Lonzo Ball gets traded to the Bulls, that really affects Markkanen's future. So that's my little preview to that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And like I said earlier, leave in the comment section down below your thoughts on, one, this incredible game by the Bulls, and number two, the thought of Lonzo Ball and the Bulls. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.